Hey guys, it's Carson Miller Tech here, back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to enable a secret mode on the Mavic Mini that you may not have even known that it has available to it, and that has to do with flight modes. If you've been flying the Mavic Mini around yourself for a while, you'd likely know that it does have 3 flight modes out of the box, and that is position mode, which has GPS positioning as well as the positioning of the sensors here on the bottom. It's also got Cine Smooth mode, which is good for getting cinematic clips, and that just basically slows down the drone's movement. And it also does use the positioning sensors on the bottom as well. And then the third and final mode that most people know about is sports mode, and that's for in environments like I'm in right now where it's a little windy, or if you just want to go faster with the drone, and that also has the positioning sensors here on the bottom enabled. However, the fourth mode that a lot of people don't know about is something called attitude mode. And what attitude mode does is it shuts off these sensors here on the bottom. So this is great if you want to fly close to the ground and not have to worry about this going and not allowing you to go below 3 feet. Or if you just want to fly and you don't want to have to worry about this going up and over something, which can be super annoying sometimes with these downward facing sensors. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to enable that, but first I do want to show you, if you don't know what I'm meaning, as far as the other 3 modes. So with that being said, let's jump right into the video. All right, so to start off, I have powered on the drone already as well as the remote controller. So what I'm going to do is just take off and bring the drone over to me so you can see what I'm talking about. When you are flying over objects with the Mavic Mini, as you can see, it's right here. If something's underneath it, it will automatically go up. And this is without me touching the remote controller. So I get close to the drone, it automatically goes up. It doesn't return going back down just because it's moving away from an object, so it's not going to go back into the object. So it'll go up like so, and I am in P mode right now. Same goes for S mode. Again, not touching the remote controller, automatically moves. And thirdly, the Cine Smooth mode, it does the same thing, not touching the controller. So you've probably found this out already yourself in the past, and in a scenario like I will show you right now, as you can see over here from the footage, there is this nice wall that separates the basketball court from the upper grass area. And what I want to do for this shot is I want to be close to the ground. So I'm going to back up over here, and I want to go and fly over the wall and be at basically grass level when I pass. So what I'm going to do is press forward on my right stick and not touch the left stick. The left stick is the up and down, and the right stick controls my forwards backwards. So I'm going to go up just a little bit. I'm going to go forward, not touching the left stick. As you can see, it automatically went up higher. And if I come back to its original position, you'll see the drone is much higher than it was originally, and that's just because the sensors there on the bottom automatically moved the drone. So this isn't a huge deal, and this is actually a huge plus for safety-wise. If you're wanting to stay safe while flying your drone, maybe you don't see something down below you and the drone does, it'll move out of the way for you, which is fantastic. However, like I was saying, say you want to go over an object, like I wanted to go over that there, and I didn't want it to go and move up because I just want a smooth, flat shot, not having to worry about the up and down movement. So how do you fix this? With attitude mode. The best part about attitude mode is that it is something that can be enabled simply with something you likely already have in your house. Tape. And yes, really, tape. So what I'm going to do with this is, first of all, bring the drone back, practice my safe landing techniques as I brought up in my recent video. If you want to watch that, you can click up there. And there we go. So now that I've got the drone back, as far as the tape that you can use, it can be painter's tape, it could be electrical tape, it could really be any tape except for clear tape. Don't use clear tape because that will not work. So you're going to take your painter's tape or whatever you're using and cover this 3 sensors here on the bottom. And you want to be careful not to block these right here because these are cooling holes, so then the drone doesn't overheat while it's in the sky. So I'd take the flat edge, place it over the 3 sensors, and there you go. That is what it looks like with the tape over the 3 sensors. Something to mention as far as how much tape to put on the bottom is you will want to make sure that you've got a couple layers, especially if you're using painter's tape, which I haven't done. And as you can see right now, if I take off and I just want to do a general land on the ground, it will still stop not at its typical height because it can't see fully. However, it will still know that it has hit the ground, or it's close to hitting the ground. So that's just simply because I haven't put enough of this tape on, so I'm gonna add a couple more layers and then we'll continue this video. So after a bit of testing, if you are choosing to use painter's tape like myself, you will have to do around 10 or more layers of tape in order for this to work. However, if you use something like an electrical tape or something that includes plastic in it, it's way more likely that you won't have to use so many layers. So I'd probably recommend using something like gaffer's tape or electrical tape, and that will probably work a little bit better for you, so you don't have to put so many layers. But it really is just a little bit of a game trying to figure out how many layers to put on. But after you've found out how many layers to put on, I'm now gonna show you what that does. So since I've got those layers there on the bottom, if I move the drone forward, as you can see, I'm going to do the same shot as I did before. So what I'm going to do is get down to about the same level as before with the prior shot. Make sure it's high enough to clear the wall. And I'm going to push forward on the right joystick and not touch the left, except for to put it up, because since it doesn't have the height awareness in windy environments like I am in right now, you do have to be a little careful because it does not know how high up from the ground it is. Performing that same test as before, as you can see, I'm about the same level. Pressing on forward, it won't automatically move up, which is pretty awesome. And a shot that I think is a lot cooler with this, that is a little bit more dangerous, but is a cool shot that you could get with this hack, is something like I will do right now. So I'm going to just go a bit forward, and I'm gonna get close to the ground without it landing, thinking it's going to land, and just pull back on your joystick. You will remain really close to the ground, and it will be cool when you pass over your edge. So something like this would be cool whether you're flying over a building or you just want to fly really close to the ground because you're going to expose a logo on the ground maybe. It's pretty cool to be able to fly so close to the ground. However, doing so does come with its own risks. Of course, it is a lot more dangerous to be disabling these sensors. So if you choose to do this yourself and you crash your drone, I am not responsible if you do that. Please do try this at your own risk. So it does a generally good job hovering in place. However, because those sensors are disabled, it does tend to drift, which is kind of cool to get some natural shots where it is just drifting around. What I mean by that is if you let go of the controller, the drone will tend to go and fly with the wind. So if you're indoors, there isn't wind, but it still will do this, and it will continue on its momentum as before you let go of the joysticks. So I find that pretty cool. My final test here that I want to perform with this attitude mode enabled is, can you still fly further distances? With modes like payload mode, that does limit how far you can fly. So I'm not sure if disabling these sensors prevent you from flying far away. So I'm gonna test that right now by just flying over here into this field. And I just surpassed the 190 feet. So it does not appear that it limits your distance. I would not go around flying with the sensors disabled because that does introduce a lot of risk. However, as you can see right now, it is possible, and even in doing so, it's doing a pretty good job at hovering in place when I let go of the sticks. Like, it's just hovering there. It's not even moving around at all, which that's pretty cool. So I like knowing that information, but bringing it back home, as I'm doing so, this is available in all modes, so you can do this in sports mode and still fly fast. As you can see, coming in hot. Although, since it drifts so much, you really want to be careful, and you're gonna need to know to pull back on the brakes because it will continue moving in its momentum if you don't slow it down manually. You can also use Cine Smooth mode, of course. All three of these modes work, which is great, but Cine Smooth mode is probably actually the riskiest mode that you could be in because the controls are so slowed down. You don't want to get caught up in a scenario where the downwards facing sensors aren't enabled and you're in Cine Smooth mode because you may be out of luck because you might crash into something a lot easier. So if you are enabling this attitude mode yourself, I would recommend not going into Cine Smooth mode and flying either in position mode, which is probably your best bet, or sport mode. Either one are your best bets, but I'd probably stick to position mode. With the drone being on low battery, as far as landing goes, this is the same if you are hand landing. However, you do have to keep in mind that since those sensors aren't on, it will not be able to tell where your hand is. So it will come to your hand really quick if you pull down on the sticks. it won't go and slow down like typical. But before landing, I also do want to show you that this does truly disable these sensors. So sticking your hand below the drone, this is like before, the drone won't automatically move up. It may actually automatically land. I'm not touching the controller at all, but I'm surprised that it has slowed down the propellers. I have never encountered this before. That is so weird. I'm literally not touching the controls at all, and it's, okay, well, to turn off the propellers, just pull down on the left stick and you are all set. So that is attitude mode on the Mavic Mini. I really hope you guys found this video interesting. When I found out about this hack, I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool, because I do fly inside sometimes, and so getting some shots with these sensors disabled makes my life a lot easier for those indoor shots. So with that being said, that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to let me know by clicking the thumbs up button down below, as well as subscribing for future videos like these. And if you have any recommendations for videos you want to see on the channel, make sure to leave those down in the comments below. I pull requests from the comments all the time, so it's likely that your suggestion may actually pop up on the channel in the future. If you want to watch my last video, that should be up there, and some random video should be down there. With that being said, that is it for this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.